So don't forget, my friends, that Glenn Jacobs, or the character of Kane, debuted in the World Wrestling Federation in 1997, meaning he was basically active for over 20 years as a performer, and nobody can go into that company and have a 2-decade run without having to do some really stupid stuff. This is why today we shall sit down and try and unravel a brand new wrestling mystery, this one in the mid-2000s, when we decided to show off the fake Kane. How dumb does that sound? Sounds like some kind of TV cartoon show. And the real scratch of your head moment comes in the sense that the WWE had already done this 12 years prior. We all remember The Undertaker versus The Undertaker from SummerSlam, and sure, if you were a fetus or like 5 years old, this was amazing, but that's only because you were dumb and you go, oh my gosh, how are there two Undertakers? But when you revisit it now, let's just be honest, it stinks. Now, I do hold my hands up and admit that it actually worked at the time, because the mid-90s just had a different feel. But when you were trying to do it in 2006, post the Attitude Era, well, you're totally off your rocker. Like I say, though, it was 2006 and people were desperately trying to figure out what we could do with Kane. And trust me, we had done a lot, including an abortion angle. Seriously, don't even watch it, don't think about it, don't Google it. It's one of those moments that makes you hate professional wrestling. I mean, what the flub are we doing? To spill the beans right away, though, a fake version of Kane did arrive, and obviously this wasn't talked about on TV, but I will tell you, it was none other than the future Doc Gallows, or Luke Gallows. He must have been terrified when he did get this, because a year or so later, he had to play Festus. So if there's like a museum of bad gimmicks, you take Gallows and you boot him in it. We did tease this for ages, though, because there was like spooky wooky stuff, and Kane was all like, something is making me feel weird, when he was having a match with Shelton Benjamin on Raw, when that's right, he got interrupted, I suppose, caused the disqualification, because he got attacked by fake Kane, which actually means Kane would have won that match. It already hurts my brain. I suppose it was sort of cool if you really want to search for things, because it was the old version of Kane with his red suit and his long hair, but that was the problem. You would have to have been Stevie Wonder not to have realised that this was a wig. And it wasn't a good wig either. It'd be like me doing this. Do you actually think this is my hair? Of course you don't. Although if you do, you're my new best friend. I really need to know who signed off on this, because clearly Vince McMahon hadn't seen it. Because when he was watching it on his tiny monitor, apparently he melted down and was like, that wig is terrible. But here I really don't know what to tell you either, because the whole feud was based on riddles and only went a few weeks. Obviously the match was ludicrous as well, because they were both Kane, which means they both had to do the same moves. And you watch that for 5 minutes, you're like, could do with a little bit of variety here, but it wasn't coming, and the whole time the wig looked like it was going to fall off. And look, this one doesn't come off, so me picking a wig up the ground was better than a multi-billion-dollar company. The fake Kane from the start as well was clearly presented as the lesser of the two, so when real Kane was just beating him up, fans just kind of went mild. They were really disinterested, because they were like, well, the fake version's not going to win. Maybe I'll go buy some popcorn. We'll get to it as well, but given that the end result was Kane just ripped his clothes off and told him to go away, well, the stuff that happened in Hear No Evil, See No Evil, whatever that movie was called, was actually better. And in that, the character that Glenn Jacobs played cut somebody's penis off. Not kidding. Jacobs himself has spoken about this during a Steel City Comic Con, and he was like him and Gallows had actually gone to some length. They picked out all the props, but they had seen the wig and gone, yeah, that's going to be a massive problem. Can we make sure this gets fed up the chain? Now, they were told that all officials were aware, but clearly Vince wasn't, because again, he lost his damn mind. As he did apparently after the pay-per-view match. I'd be like, what were you expecting, bro? It was Kane versus Kane. It ain't Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Apparently the real bee in Vince McMahon's bonnet was the fact that it made the real Kane look bad. I was like, that's your fault. That's totally on you. You wrote the story and you pulled the green trigger on it, which is not a thing. So you should go in the corner and think about what you've done. It also meant that, yes, 24 hours after the pay-per-view, real Kane just beat Kane up. He gave him a choke slam on the steel entrance ramp where he dragged his body all the way through the arena and threw him to the outside when Kane took the mask and he stared at it like it was a sword of Damocles. I was like, bro, you're the dude that took this mask a few years prior. If it has magic powers, why didn't you keep it? So while now we have been able to add some context, that wasn't the case in the mid-2000s. And if you were watching Raw, all of this happened in about a month. You're like, what the flub is happening? Because you saw a dude arrive pretending to be Kane when he got beat up by real Kane, and real Kane said, haha, you should never return. that was enough for this imposter to go. Well, you make a very good point. This is why we shouldn't moan about current stories either, by the way. At least we get some kind of resolution. As mentioned, poor fake Kane was brought back about 12 months later as Festus, some kind of deaf mute who could only be active when he heard the bell rung. So no wonder Luke Gallows was so happy to get away with all of this, especially right now. He basically gets paid a load of money to do nothing. Because I imagine he thinks if they do give him more creative, he'll have to, I don't know, come to a ring with a fake spider and call it Willow. Oh, nope, wait, we already did that one too. Google it. So there you go, another mystery solved. Or the thing that bothers me the most is the fact that he stripped him. And this was some kind of ceremonial death. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And from now on, don't do same character versus same character unless you planned it from the beginning. Also, don't kill it off after 4 weeks. This was really, really dumb. Somehow I got through this whole video as well without mentioning the whole May 19th stuff, which was basically just a promotional tactic to promote that movie. And yeah, you said May 19th and Kane would go crazy, and then fake Kane was here. And look at my face. Do I look happy? No, I do not. Obviously, Glenn Jacobs was then written off TV for a couple of months as he did have to go on tour for this movie. And when he came back, he just attacked Umaga. That's right. That's what he did. That's what we put in for. When it came to our time, one day I'll be on my deathbed and I think to myself, my gosh, I'm never going to get this back. At least I got this nice wig. I mean, you just knew that WWE had absolutely no plan with Kane at this point either. Because after he had done the Umaga thing, from nowhere he just went, oh, hi, Undertaker. Why don't we team up as the Brother to Destruction again? When he got into a thing with MVP and they had an Inferno match and Kane set him on fire, we were told, oh, ain't going to be around for a while because he suffered first or third degree burns, whichever one it was. And I was like, listen, man, MVP was a great talent. And Kane, you know, at times was, but not really here. You shouldn't just be doing random Inferno matches. That's what we did, because Kane is spooky wookie and Kane liked fire. Which actually tied to the character, he wouldn't like fire, because we were told originally that he was burned alive, and even when we found out all of this was psychological scarring, and none of it was true, Kane didn't know that, he still thought it was real, so why would he want to get near fire? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Somebody shut this video down. Why did I just tap the microphone? Because I've gone absolutely crazy. Let's move on. I will point out soon after that he did feud with King Booker. That made me laugh a lot. King Booker is one of the most underrated characters of our generation. Now, of course, please do leave me a comment below. Let me know your memories and thoughts about the whole fake Kane angle. And maybe this is the first time you've ever heard about it before. So you should probably go and do a bit more research. But again, I need some opinions. Also, make sure you click the video on the screen, which will be another WWE or Wrestling Unsolved mystery narrated by me. So it's going to be absolute gibberish. Interact with the video, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Listen, this series can probably go on until the end of time. There's so many of these, and this ain't even the worst. That's right, my friends. It gets way worse than this. I'll see you when we get to one of those instead.